advances in technology, today greater emphasis is placed on fire safety in all means of transportation, at sports and entertainment venues, in all aspects of our daily lives. Experts agree that 70% or more of all deaths in a fire are due to smoke inhalation by toxic smoke, like carbon monoxide, cyanide, and many other toxic gases and dust. Medical experts all agree that within the first 2 or 3 minutes of breathing toxic smoke or dust, that you may suffer from shock or even cardiac arrest. Fighting fires with fire extinguishers can be deadly if you are not prepared with the proper breathing devices. We have the products to supply up to 90 minutes of filtered or supplied air, so you may escape or await emergency rescue. For over 40 years, we have been specializing in fire control, fire rescue equipment, chemical and biological and gas rescue equipment, fire retardant material, coal mine safety rescue equipment, and watercraft rescue equipment, with over 30 SKUs of safety products. Did you know that NASA was recording fires on this planet 24 hours a day and 7 days a week? Well, they do. The organization called FIRMS. It's the Fire Information for Resource Management System that's been around since 2012. And as you see here, this is just from a week ending on the 6th of November, showing all the fires on the planet at that particular time. In the atmosphere alone, there are all different types of toxins. Carbon monoxide, hydrogen chloride, ammonia, benzene, sulfur dioxide, formaldehyde, hydrogen cyanide. There's all different types. In fact, when wood burns, there's about 200 different kinds of chemicals being released into the atmosphere. Even the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, have done numerous studies and found that, as you see in the chart presented before you, you'll see in yellow 12,000 parts per million, death within 1 to 3 minutes. 400 parts per million, frontal headaches within 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours, nausea, convulsions, death within 2 hours. And if you see in the red there, it says 50 parts per million is the maximum average level for continuous exposure in an 8-hour workday per U.S. federal law. And yet, you'll see at the very bottom there, 9 to 12 parts per million is the concentration often measured around busy city streets and intersections. Every day on the news, we hear about fires. Office building fires, fires at the casino, fires at apartment buildings, fires in entertainment centers, fires in the subway, fires in the parking garage, fires at school buses, and we have fire extinguishers everywhere. We have fire extinguishers at the airport, we have them at office building, at the gas station, at the ferry terminal, even in the parking garage. Yet the real question is, how do you fight a fire with a fire extinguisher if you're unable to breathe due to toxic smoke? Well, the answer is, you can't. Anything strange about these photos? Look at the people fighting the fire with a fire extinguisher, maybe turning their head away, not wearing proper breathing protection. Well, are the fire extinguishers toxic? Simon Andrews, back in 2017, answered this question, and he stated, they're not entirely safe. You should take precautions to avoid inhaling too much of the powder. What powder? Well, the vast majority of fire extinguishers contain ammonium phosphate or ammonium sulfate. Chemicals can irritate your skin. Avoid inhaling. Use a dust mask. Wrong. Dust masks do not work. Okay? They just don't work. Look for yourself. You see here different types of fabric masks being tested, all failing. They're all porous. Same with an N95 mask. It's still porous, still only protecting you 94.99%, letting through lethal amounts of the dry powder, which can coat your lungs and suffocate you. That's why when firemen, they always wear supplied air through an SCBA, a self-contained breathing apparatus, giving them 30 to 45 minutes of breathable air. The simple fact is this, is that fire consumes oxygen, and if there's no oxygen, we as humans cannot breathe. 3 minutes without air, and we as humans will die. It's a medical fact. And that's why firemen, when they go in to fight a fire, need supplied air. Carbon filters will not scrub out carbon monoxide. Think just because of the name carbon it's going to scrub it out? You're wrong. You have to use hopgalite, which has been used by firemen in filters for fighting fires and everything for over 100 years. Have you ever flown on a plane? Next time you do, look for the fire extinguisher on the plane. What you'll find next to it is a little logo, as you see here in this photo. And what is it? It's a smoke hood. Even the military use them on their planes. All commercial aircraft have them on every flight next to the fire extinguisher. Why? Because you can't fight a fire with a fire extinguisher if you can't breathe due to toxic smoke. There are various stages of burning. Will you wait till it's too late? Where there's fire, there's smoke. People today all over the world are realizing to arrest the fire early before it gets out of control, they must have next to the fire extinguisher a smoke hood. At Guangzhou Airport in China, over 10,000 smoke hoods, all next to fire fire extinguishers. At every arrival and departure gate, a fire hose wheel, 4 fire extinguishers, 6 smoke hoods. Why? Because you can't fight a fire if you're unable to breathe due to toxic smoke. Plain and simple. At every shop at the airport, 1 or more fire extinguishers and safety hoods placed together. Be prepared. At the India consulate, at hospitals, offices, parking garages, virtually anywhere there's a fire extinguisher, you need to have a fire escape smoke hood. Even in Peru, as you see here. How much time is enough to escape from toxic smoke? Is 15 minutes enough? Well, in October of 2010, on the NBC Today Show, news anchor Meredith Vieira, along with a lieutenant with the New York City Fire Department, was showing how to escape from fire with toxic smoke in a hotel. She was told to place over her eyes a blindfold to eliminate the light and thus simulate thick black smoke. She was then placed in a room. The lieutenant simulated an alarm going off, and then she opened the door. And she was told to find the nearest stairwell so she could escape safely. She crawled on her hands and knees, feeling where she was trying to get to the stairway. 15 minutes had already passed, and she had not found the exit door. 15 minutes is not enough time. And remember, 3 minutes no air, and we as humans will die. That's why all of our respiratory products provide 30, 60, up to 90 minutes of filtered or supplied air, giving you the maximum amount of protection to either be rescued or to escape safely. Our fire escape smoke hoods have been tested at North Carolina State University on their Pyroman, used to test all fabrics and materials worn by U.S. government and military personnel against flammability. And our smoke hoods, they exceed the standard by 50%. That's the NFPA 2112 standard, and we exceed the standard by 50%. We also exceed all other international standards, including Wheelmark, IMO, SOLAS, the European CE standard, and we manufacture on an average of 5,000 to 8,000 units daily to meet your needs in an emergency. Our products are used by the CNSA, the Chinese National Space Authority. All unmanned spaceflight now have our products actually on board each spacecraft to be used in cases of emergency. We have received a written endorsement from the CNSA and the Astronaut Center of China, NASA, Shell Oil, BP Exploration, Federal Express, Shangri-La Hotels, the NBA, United Nations, the United States Air Force, and thousands of others now use our products. Anything up to the 20th floor, we will provide only 30 minutes. Above the 20th floor, only 60 minutes of protection. In fact, we're the only company that actually provide a smoke hood for children ages 5 to 12 as well, that gives you 30 minutes of breathable air.
This training tower behind me is where the Monarch Fire Department practices different fire scenarios. Fires cause smoke and poisonous gases like cyanide, which quickly numb the senses. People who are trapped in a fire quickly become disoriented and confused, and that can hamper their escape.
One of the first things that's going to happen is panic. They're going to become very scared, and that's going to overwhelm a lot of times any reasoning ability.
And that's where a fire escape hood could be a lifesaver. But do they work? Jeff Locker, the Monarch Fire Department, helped us test the fire escape hood inside this training tower.
My initial reaction was it fit surprisingly well. I was surprised with something that is not enticed or surrounded to fit as well as it does. It fits quite similar to the mask that we use.
Locker entered this room in the training tower, which quickly filled with smoke. After 5 minutes, I checked in with him. How you doing so far?
Pretty good. Man, these things work real well.
10 more minutes passed, which means Blocker has been inside this smoky room for 15 minutes. He gave the mask 2 thumbs up. Jeff, you spent 15 minutes in a smoky room with that mask on. Give us your final critique.
I thought it held up real well. Didn't seem to have any problems with it. You had a real good smoky environment in there. Didn't notice any problems with any real bad leaking. Seemed to hold up real well.
The smoke Jeff Blocker breathed for 15 minutes was non-toxic, similar to the smoke used in movies or on the stage.
He still would have been able to smell if there was any leaks in the mask, or if the filter wasn't working. That smell should have been coming through, and he would have known if it was leaking.
So that was a fair test?
I think so.
The smoke detector warns us for what's going to actually save us in a situation where there's a fire and there's a smoke.
Purify Air 30M and 60M uses the same filter technology as our ASE-30 and ASE-60 smoke hoods, protecting you from carbon monoxide, chlorine, cyanide, and other toxins, dust, and hot falling ash. The major differences are that the Purify Air hood material is made from a special cotton-lined PVC non-irritating tube, the wear providing 1600 C, 3000 degrees Fahrenheit of direct flame protection compared to only 1000 C or 2000 degrees Fahrenheit in our ASE-30 and ASE-60. ASE-60. The Purify Air hood is oversized to allow for long hair or beards and has no stitches in the seams anywhere on the hood, including the visor, providing 100% protection against any possible leakage, as this hood also has silicone rubber neckband to again ensure that there are no leakages possible. Available in a hard and soft case, we also offer the product in a safety kit configuration, which includes a pair of fire-resistant gloves, stainless steel whistle, and a pack of 6-inch glow sticks, providing up to 12 hours of light in cases of emergency, or even with a fire escape suit, also rated at 1600C, which exceeds the NFPA 2112 standard by 50%. As we are a factory, we are able to customize safety kits to meet your specific requirements. Our ASE-30BR and ASE-60BR Chem Biogas Fire Escape Smoke Hood these days is our most popular product due to its capabilities of protection against all known toxic agents, whether they be phosgene gas, tear gas, Ebola, COVID, ammonia, sulfur dioxide, SO2, hydrogen sulfide, H2S, carbon monoxide, chlorine gas, or any one of 1,000 different toxic agents that may occur in an emergency. These units are used by first responders, firefighters, military, law enforcement, oil, gas, and chemical facilities worldwide. Also available in our soft case safety kit configuration, or able to be customized to meet your requirements. With all of our products, we are the only company that provides a free one-time replacement warranty. Yes, that's right. If you use it at any time during the shelf life, we will replace it for free. There are conditions that apply. Speak with your distributor for those details. We also supply, with orders of 100 units or more, free training unit, free how to use video USB cards, and free how to use A4 size laminated instruction sheets with your order. You might say, well, Draeger, MSA, they offer 10, 12, or even 16-year shelf life. Let me ask you this question. If I gave you a pair of underwear that was 16 years old, would you put them on and wear them? 99 out of 100 people I have asked the same question to have said emphatically, no way. So why would you trust a life-saving device that was that old to function properly? In fact, I have had customers who spoke to Draeger, and Draeger have said one should just buy a new unit after 8 years. If you use the hood and filter in an emergency, why would you put a contaminated hood on your head with a clean filter? It doesn't make any sense, does it? No one else will give you a free replacement if used. We value life and our customers. We want to ensure your protection, giving you the freshest product perform as intended. We are the only company providing a free replacement if used at any time during the shelf life. Many new technologies were introduced during World War I. One was the introduction of the rebreather, used on German U-boat submarines. This product used a chemical known as KO2, potassium superoxide, that when reacted with our exhaled carbon dioxide actually created breathable air, 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen, the same as what sustains our lives here on planet Earth. Have you ever flown on a plane? Have you ever read the emergency safety cards? Look closely the next time you fly. They most always indicate what you are to do in case of smoke in the cabin. All on the floor to the nearest exit, well, that is impossible at 35,000 feet. You open the door, decompress the plane, and everyone dies immediately. The next time you fly, look next to the fire extinguisher. You will see a smoke hood logo. They use the same KO2, yet are only good for 15 minutes and cost upwards of $1,000 each, used only by the flight crew. You have nothing. Oxygen masks do not come down and provide any oxygen until the plane reaches a safe altitude under 14,000 feet, when they can then vent the plane. So you have only seconds to get to that level from 35,000 feet. Why? Because remember this medical fact: 3 minutes no air, and we as humans will die. Our AEBD will provide 30 or 60 minutes minimum of supplied air for those who are active, up to 90 minutes if passive. A closed system like an SCBA, worn by firemen. Our unit weighs less than 1.5 kg, or about 3 pounds. Recently tested at the Israeli Maritime Training Authority by myself at 68 years of age, walking into a toxic smoke-filled room with blazing fire and 2 firemen wearing SCBAs. After over 20 minutes inside, one fireman decided to put it on and went back in using the same 60-minute EEBD for an additional 10 to 15 minutes without any difficulty. These units have been tested by myself personally in the USA, Israel, Vietnam, the Philippines, Qatar, India, and many other countries throughout the world. They work. Otherwise, I would already be dead from the toxic smoke I have been subjected to. Also available in a safety kit configuration, as well as in a soft case bag with a shoulder strap and handle, or optional handle and belt loop with a minimum order of 500 pieces. We are looking forward to working together with you, saving lives.